Thank you. So, as Greg said, I'm the director, founder of InterConnection, and one thing I want to make very clear tonight is I want people to have a good time. There's a lot of food, and I won't be upset if you go and grab some food while I'm eating or while anybody's eating, because there's a lot of it. And so the number one goal tonight is just to have a good time. Our Oktoberfest is just a way for us to kind of show some of our accomplishments during the year, and also to thank all of our donors, all of our supporters, our volunteers, and staff. And so that is the primary goal, number one. And so I'm going to start off tonight just by showing what we did in 2014. So 2014 was a busy year. But before I get into that, I'll talk about the mission of InterConnection, which is to make technology accessible to underserved communities, not just in the U.S., but around the world. And we do that primarily by providing refurbished computers. So I suspect most of you have been to our warehouse down on Stoneway. If not, it's about a 10,000 square foot facility where we do all the computer refurbishing and recycling and repair. And I'd be glad to give you a tour anytime to check it out. So 2014, what did we do? Well, the first thing we did is we shipped a lot of computers. So we shipped over 3,500 computers to nonprofits all across the U.S. We did that through kind of three channels. So our first one was TechSoup, and the program manager of TechSoup is here tonight, Matthew Halden, and he'll talk a bit about that fantastic partnership. We also have our own online store where any nonprofit in the U.S. can go to get a low-cost computer. And then finally, we do these special technology access programs. So that is the three kind of primary ways where we get computers out to nonprofits. Some of the organizations that we helped is the Babcock Center, which provides help to people with disabilities, and also to the New Hampshire Audubon Society, as well as Heinz Hospice. We also provided a lot of computers to low-income people, primarily in the Seattle area, but also elsewhere outside of this state. So over 1,200 computers to low-income people. A lot of these people, it was their first computer, and as Greg mentioned, computers are really important for gaining support and help. We did some international shipments as well. Over 400 computers went to programs all around the world. We shipped some computers to Colombia, to a library in Colombia. We even shipped a container of computers, over 200 computers, to Zanzibar, which is just off the coast of Zimbabwe. And it went to about 4 or 5 different schools there. We recently did a shipment to Belize, did one to Ghana, South Sudan, not Sudan, but South Sudan, in Guatemala, and then a place called Vanuatu. Do you guys, anybody know where that is? All right, South Pacific. So what else do we do? So we opened an online store for low-income people. Currently, most low-income people have to come to our store to get a computer, but now anyone, anywhere in the U.S. can get a low-cost computer via our online store. It's fairly new, but next year we plan to really grow it and get the word out. We also distributed a product called Windows Multipoint, which was a brand new product last year, but this year was something that we really started getting out. We set up and Multipoint is basically a software program that allows multiple people to use one computer. So it's a way to really bring down hardware costs, because obviously multiple people can share one computer, each with their own desktop, and kind of use their experience. We got it out to the Renton Salvation Army. As Greg mentioned too, we did a shipment to Paraguay. We shipped it to the agricultural school in San Pedro something or other in Paraguay. And then that shipment that we did to Vanuatu was also a multi-point system. We recycled a lot of computers. So not every computer that we get, in fact, the majority of the computers that we get, we cannot reuse. So obviously, we're in the business of recycling electronics as well. We recycled over 13,000 computers, 7,000 monitors, and tons of TVs, electronics, and other scrap. But one unique thing about InterConnection is we are R2 certified. So R2 is the national certification for recyclers, and it's done by outside auditors. It basically ensures that all of the material that we're recycling goes to the appropriate recycler or downstream vendor, right? So it ensures that we're not just throwing it in the lake or something, right? Anyways, but we also renewed our certification, and we were the first nonprofit in the nation to get the updated certification, which is called R2 2013. We also set up a distribution point in Colombia, in Bogota, Colombia. We're working with a for-profit company there called LCS Colombia that's basically receiving our computers, doing the final upgrades, and then getting them out to different NGOs there. And we're working with a bigger NGO, or an NGO called Macaya and Noroka, to get it out to the nonprofits in Colombia. So we also started actually receiving medical devices. So this is a bit different than what we usually do, right? It's not computers, but we have the warehouse, we have the space, and this organization, Bridge Disability Ministries, approached me and said, hey, we need a drop site in Seattle to collect wheelchairs and crutches and stuff, and so that's what we did for them, started to collect them, then we're passing stuff off to these folks, to Bridge Disability. Our outlet store, so at that same warehouse on Stoneway, we have essentially a retail store. It grew by 18%, so far we've sold over 4,000 computers, and we also sell a low-cost internet for $10 a month to low-income people. And it's super popular. We've sold 576 subscriptions so far. So 2015, what are we going to do next year? One of the biggest, I guess, goal, or not really a goal, but projects we'll be kind of fully implementing this year is a new software solution that allows us to really do some high-end asset management and recycling services. So this is going to be something that some of the corporate donors out here in the audience are going to be interested in. But basically, it's a software that's going to allow us to do some reporting and show, what did you give us, where did it go, what was the serial number of that asset, what was it, and it'll allow us to basically put us on par with some of the really big for-profit recyclers, and so it'll, give us some really high-level services. We also plan to open a new store. So a lot of the folks that come to our outlet store are coming from the south, Tacoma, Federal Way, and coming from up north too, from Everett, Marysville, that sort of area. So people are driving a long way. And so as I showed you, our retail store is growing quite a bit, so it's just started to make sense to looking at other opportunities. And so we're looking at opening someplace south to make these low-cost computers available to people down in the Tacoma Federal Way area. We're also going to be opening an online store that'll be available to anybody, just because we get, other electronics besides computers we'll be offering through the online store. Just like Colombia, we'll be having international kind of distributors. So we're looking at Chile and Paraguay. So these will be organizations that will be receiving our computers and then getting them out to different NGOs and low-income people. And so also one of the biggest things that we're going to start doing next year is getting into mobile devices. So I think it's pretty apparent to a lot of people that the desktop computer is kind of going away. I don't know who owns a desktop computer these days. A few, right? Not too much. Anyways, it's mostly all about laptops, tablets, smartphones, right? So InterConnection doesn't want to go away. So I want to get into laptops, tablets, and smartphones. And how we're going to do that is by starting out with collection. And so one of the things that we have is that we're going to start getting out to different stores. Right now we're working with Batteries Plus and different offices, but this is our little poster that you can hang up anywhere, but kind of the unique thing about it is you can tear this off and it's got a prepaid mailing label on the back. So essentially, if you have a smartphone, you put your smartphone in a box, you put this label on the box, and then you can ship it to us for free. So this is something that we're going to get out to whoever's going to take it. But it's a free, accessible way to get phones. And then obviously the thing that everybody does is just have a collection box. So the collection boxes too we're going to be putting out in the different stores, and once this is full, you can just mail it in by FedEx. And something I don't have with me tonight is this collection kiosks that I'm working with a company to develop, and it's going to have a tablet on the side so that when you drop your item in the box, you will automatically receive an email with a donation receipt, and it'll also allow us to see what you donated. So none of this would be possible without our corporate supporters. So just, here's a couple of them: Microsoft, Perkins Coie, Packard. This is how InterConnection survives, is by getting donated computers from companies and individuals. We don't get grants. We don't get very little donations of funds. InterConnection survives off getting donated computers. And so that's why I want to thank our corporate donors and also the staff, right? None of this is possible. Would be possible without staff. So thank you. We've got over 25 employees now, so it's a lot of staff. Also want to thank my board, so those board members here, so Michael and Tim, thank you guys. Our volunteers, as well as our partners like Matthew from TechSoup, who'll be talking after me. And so that's it. That's my presentation, and once again, I want to thank everybody for coming tonight. There's still a lot of food, so come up and eat. And now I want to present Matthew Halden, who is the Program Director for TechSoup's Refurbished Computer Initiative.